Welcome into Inside LAFC podcast, extra time, very special episode. It is a new beginning with Jude Terry, who has signed his first professional contract with LAFC. First of all, congratulations, Jude.
Thank you.
I got to ask you, we ask this to everyone who has, who's sworn allegiance to LAFC. Why LAFC?
Well, LAFC is just the club that's given me opportunity and platform to succeed. So just being with the club that has kind of started it all for me is a special thing, and it's an honor to be part of this club, and also being a part of, I'd say, the best club in MLS, one of the best, and being part of a top club and being considered as a top player at such a young age is something special.
And let's remind everyone, you just turned 16, correct? Because I'm not getting, you're wise beyond your years, Jude.
Yeah, I'm 16.
16. You got that great lettuce going. You look like a young Andrea Pirlo. You know who that is?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, you've got the wisdom already. So we want to talk a little about you and this incredible story about you, because you are from Chula Vista. And I wanted to start there. And Chula Vista, obviously, just south of San Diego, which has actually been a place where a lot of great soccer players have started. I'm sure you know Brandon Vasquez and Paul Arriola. And you started with LAFC Academy at 12. Is that correct?
Yeah, 12, 13.
And you had made that drive with your family every day and the drive back. Tell us a little bit about your routine to join the academy and your family's routine alongside.
Well, when we joined the academy, the routine was kind of the same. I would go to school, and from Monday through Thursday, I would leave about 2. At around 2 from school, I'd leave early. I had an arrangement with the school that I was at, so that helped a lot. I'd leave around 2. Practice was around 5-ish. I'd change in the car, and then from there, I'd probably sleep. I always sleep in the car, so that's kind of just the routine for me. And then my mom, she's always been the one that drives me. She's always been, I guess, I've always been her passenger, so yeah, just driving with her through 4 years of being with LAFC, it's been the routine.
But sleeping, so you got to talk to her during the ride sometimes too.
Yeah, no, on the way back we talk more, because on the way up, I don't know why, I always just sleep. It's kind of, I'm on my phone for about 5 minutes and then I just knock out. So on the way back,
you got to get your rest, young man.
Yeah.
When you think about that, I mean, you're just beginning this, the sacrifice your mom made, and that relationship too. When you think about what your mom has meant for you pursuing this, what words can you share with us?
No, my mom has always been one of my biggest supporters, if not the biggest supporter. She's always helped me. She's always sacrificed her own time, and I'm always grateful for that. She puts a lot of effort into me and my sister, into our dreams, and I think me and my sister, and in general our whole family, are always grateful. She's always working hard. It's like she never rests, but something I'm grateful for, and we love her and I love her. So
yeah. Beautiful stuff. And look, joining LAFC is no minor detail. We know there's a new club coming in San Diego. There's plenty of competition on both sides of the border, because we also have to mention that you're a Mexican and American household, correct?
Yeah, and Argentine too.
So just a quick sidebar, if there was, you've been with, we're going to talk a little bit about the youth national teams with the U.S. You would be eligible, and you still could be eligible to play for Mexico if that's an option you wanted to pursue down the road.
Yeah, no, right now I'm focused with the U.S. I've been with the U.S. since U15, since the first camp. I have had a camp with Mexico one time, and it was my first national team camp ever. But after that, I've stuck with the U.S. They've always treated me well. They've always seen potential. They've always been direct with me. So just being a part of that group and the talent we have inside of that youth national team is something, I think it's one of the most talented age groups that the youth national has. And I think we have a really good chance going into CONCACAF and into World Cup. So.
And I bring that up, Jude, because I think you are in the right place with the U.S. Just trying to tell your story a little bit about, the different directions it possibly could have gone. But now that you mentioned it, I want to talk about that. You were at the under-15s. You even debuted with the under-17s earlier this year. And you look at some of the players. I mean, for people who know soccer, they know your name. Kevin Sullivan's a guy they obviously know. Maxime Carrizo, Matisse Albert, who was with the Galaxy. Talk about that group of players and compare it maybe to some other academies or teams that you played with. The level that you see with you and the players that are around you.
Yeah, and the level of that national team is really high. It's probably, in terms of level and talent, it's probably one of the best teams I've probably been with in terms of my age group. I think that in practices and in games, there's always an expectation. There's always an expectation that if you guys are this talented, you guys better win. So, yeah, there's always, in practices, it's competitive. There's not one player where you look at it and you're like, oh, this is easier. Everyone is super competitive. They all want to win. And even it's really hard. I think it would be hard for the coaches and the players because there's so much talent in each position that forming one starting a lineup to start a game is really hard because, to be honest, you can put anyone in that position and they do good.
The bar is pretty high, so that really helps you push your play. Now you get to do that with club and country.
Yeah.
Very cool, Jude. You got a lot on your plate, my friend. Are you ready for it? I mean, this is now you're a new life here with LA and getting acclimated. You're going to be an Angelino, full Angelino. You got San Diego, kick some mud in its eye.
Yeah, no, I'm ready for it. I've always just enjoyed playing soccer, so I don't really see it as a challenge, or I do see it as a challenge, but I see it as something I want to do. So just excited for it.
When did you start playing soccer?
At around 2, I think. There's videos of me when I was young. I don't really know.
You don't remember?
I don't remember, but yeah, my dad he played in Argentina and he played, I think, professionally with futsal and 5-a-side. So, and his grandpa, or my grandpa and his dad, also played. So I was kind of just born into a family that has loved the sport and that has played the sport. So I think that kind of helps me with the passion that I have and kind of formed me as a person and a player.
All right, the family business. Good stuff. How would you describe yourself as a player? I mean, I know I've seen you playing. The technical skills certainly pop to the surface, but tell our audience a little bit about how you play, what position you play, and what you like to do on the field.
I'm a midfielder, an 8, I would say. I can play as a 6 or as a 10. I've been put in those positions, but I like to play as an 8. I think I'm a very creative player, not in the sense of flashy skills, but I can create something. I can create a chance. I can create something out of nothing, I would say. I think I'm very aware and I play very smart and I play with my head. I see spaces where other players might not see it, and I kind of like to think that I'm one step ahead or a couple steps ahead of other players. So yeah, I just like to play with my head and just being a player that likes to be on the ball. But I also understand that sometimes in a game, you're not going to touch the ball a lot. So if that is creating space for my teammates or just dragging a defender away from my teammate to create more space for them, it's just what I do. And that's the player I am, very creative and very technical. I think my strong suit's on the ball. So, yeah.
Coach Cherundolo's going to love you. You say all the right things. Was there players that you idolized or players that you modeled your game after that come to mind?
I've said this before. I think Maradona and Messi. I was born into my dad's Argentine, so just always looking up at those two players. Obviously, I didn't get to see much of Maradona because he doesn't play when I was born, but Messi, seeing him throughout the years with the national team, and then just seeing videos of Maradona through my dad and him just explaining different players from the old national team, from the old Argentine national team. I think I try to model my game around those two, what they can do with the ball. And then in general, like the aggressiveness and the passion that comes from over there in Argentina, I think it's something different. I think it's what they're like born to do in a sense. So I think I have that passion too.
We got a lot of Argentines, and by the way, I'm a big Maradona guy. Is your dad is Maradona #1 or Messi?
Yeah, Maradona.
Maradona. That was my guy too. We have Messi here in MLS. We have Mauricio Pochettino, the head of the national team. So being Argentinian will have its benefits, I am sure. What about you? LAFC? You were with LAFC. You've been through the academy. We talked about that. LAFC too. You made a bunch of appearances there. Tell us about that experience, which obviously is the gateway one day to playing for LAFC.
Yeah, LAFC too was a great first year for me. It was something new. I trained with them last year before my U15 CONCACAF. I trained with LAFC too, but this is my first real season. I did preseason with them. Throughout the season, I got injured at the start of the season, but after that, I made multiple appearances. I started, but no, it was a great experience. Junior, our coach, helped me a lot. He was very transparent with me, very direct. So he helped me a lot. And being a younger player in an older team, not necessarily older, but being a younger player amongst 18-year-old, 19-year-olds, some 20, 21, it's helped me learn. And it's also given me confidence that, look, I can do it against older players and I'm comfortable with doing it. So just be ready to make the next step.
And what's your experience been with the first team? Because we know this is all connected, or even just you watching first team games or enjoying moments. What memories come to mind about being under that LAFC umbrella and watching those guys play?
Yeah, no, always in the PC. When I'm in the PC, I say hi to some of the first team guys, watching them train. I've trained with them 3 times, I think. So not a lot, but just watching them train, the intensity they have, the technical ability. I'd say from when I was in the academy, you'd see a lot of mistakes. There, they don't make so many. So that's definitely a change. But I think just watching them play, how fast but technical and sharp they are, is something good. And just watching inside the game, the passion they have, like supporting the fans, supporting them. I think in BMO, the stadium, the atmosphere is just intense and good and like passionate. So yeah.
You think about playing there in the future at that moment coming out on the field?
Yeah, I do. I've always thought about it when I'm in the shower or something, pretending like I'm in the game, or when I'm dreaming or something. I always imagine playing, scoring in front of the 32-52, just scoring in front of them and them going crazy. It's just something that I think I dream of and that every kid in the academy would dream of. So yeah, it's something I want to do.
That's great to hear. And I mean, I love what you said about the mistakes, because it's a simple thing, but when you identify that, okay, if I want to take this next step, I got to get rid of those mistakes. And again, sharp as a whip, this Jude Terry. He's on a great trajectory. We talk so much about soccer. Let's talk a little bit about you. I know soccer probably eats up most of the time of your day, but what are some of the other things that you enjoy doing that when you need to step away and kind of recharge the batteries?
I like. I'm just a. I would say I'm a relaxed person. I like to just stay at home, but I like to eat. I love food. I'm a big food guy. But in general, when I'm in Chula Vista, going to watch a movie with my family, or going to dinner with my mom or my dad, where I don't really get to do that much throughout the season because I'm on a stricter plan. But right now, just enjoying time with family, seeing friends maybe from old schools that I haven't seen in a while, seeing them, or just going to the mall, shopping. I like to shop, but my mom doesn't let me as much. Yeah, no, I think I prefer to just watch my show on Netflix. I think that's what I like to do.
You got your go-to shows.
Yeah, I do.
Do you binge or you just ease into it?
Depends. I'm like a max 4 to 5 episodes guy. Depends on right now
In a viewing, in one sitting.
Yeah, I don't like because then I just like tend to just like go on my phone or something because then I get like bored of it. But nah, I don't like to binge that much. But when I'm really bored, I do. So
Sounds like you have a lot. I mean, I don't know where you find the time, Jude. And obviously, soccer is going to eat up more and more of it. So enjoy that as much as you can, and listen to mom. Listen to mom all the time. A couple more questions. What are you most excited about once you start joining the LAFC first team? Now that you're a professional, what's the one thing you're most excited about experiencing?
Obviously, the debut. I want to debut for the first team, but besides that, I think just playing in a team full of all the great players that we have. There's a lot of experience with two World Cup winners in Lloris and Giroud. I think that's something I want to do one day, win a World Cup. So just being in a team with them, being in a team with players like Buwanga who have done it in MLS and proved that they could probably do it in Europe or something like that. Being in a team full of those types of players and being able to learn from them is something that I look forward to. And yeah, just making my debut, those two things.
I forgot to ask you before because you said you like to eat. What's your favorite food? What's the go-to thing you don't get sick of?
An asado.
Oh,
Yeah, I love that. I love like steaks, like
like an Argentine steak cook-up, everything.
Yeah, I love that. Or like a pasta. I love pasta. So those two are probably my main two, but asado first.
I'm getting hungry. I'm sure you're probably getting hungry too. Learning a little bit about you. We can ask Sammy there at the PC if he can hook something up in the back, because I know he has that barbecue ready to go. Get you some like skirt steaks, some sausages, and you mentioned it. Last question, Jude. What's the best advice you have gotten? Because a lot of kids are going to look at you as an example and see what you've done. And I know the journey's just beginning, but to get from when you were 2 years old, where you don't even remember playing, to where you are now, what was the best advice you got?
To be honest, it's from my dad. Although it's simple, it's just don't stop having fun. Because the moment you stop having fun, you're not going to enjoy it anymore, and you're not going to want to do it. So just keep having fun, and I think that's the best advice, because with the academy or with the second team, even in the games, I'm always like smiling or I'm having fun. I enjoy playing. Like right now in the off season, I wish I was just playing because I get bored at home. But I think that's the best advice I've ever gotten. Just have fun, because the moment you don't, you're not going to want to play anymore. So just keep having fun.
I'm going to give you a little more advice, okay? Don't cut that hair.
All right. Yeah. Let's be planning on it. So.
Hey, Jude, congratulations, man. I'm so happy for you, and I'm happy for your family. I know it's a very special day, and it's very special that you could join us. So much appreciated, and we're excited to see you play.
Thank you.
Jude Terry, first professional contract with LAFC, signed, sealed, delivered. He is in the building. Thanks for joining us here on Inside LAFC Podcast Extra Time. We continue to get the great guests. We'll see you out there soon.
See ya.